Welcome to another edition of Two-Year-Olds in Training for the Harness Edge. I'm Harold Howe. I'm here at Spring Garden Ranch in De Leon Springs, Florida. Here with Charlie Norris. We're going to talk two-year-olds, but just before, today we were lucky enough to catch a training Datsuk. Now, for anybody who's been living under a rock this last year, this was a very nice explosive matter 3-year-old. He made $445,000, but hardly got any attention. He finished second in the Yonkers Trot. No good luck in the Pennsylvania Sire Stake final, but still, for $17,000 yearling, and he got herd at 2, 445 is not a bad go.
Yeah, he was a really nice colt at 2 there, and he had just a little minor issue, but you know, he wasn't able to race, and his shoulder. And you know, he come back and he trained down here last year like an absolute unbelievable horse. And you know, he raced a maiden and he was right in the Sire Stakes.
He's a very robust kind of colt, or not colt now, he's 4, but when he warms up, you'd wonder, who is that?
Yeah, well, it was all a habit, because we kept trying to find out what was wrong with him and couldn't find out, and it was like 3 months before we actually found out what was wrong with him, and I think it just developed more of a habit than anything.
But anyway, hopes for a good year? You think it's a tough year?
Yeah, it is a tough year. I mean, this year, though, they have a couple 4-year-old races there, and I really don't want to race him that much, the maturity thing, and then go into the aged Hamiltonian there. And like I say, I'm not going to race him 8-10 times. That's about it.
Yes. Okay, let's talk some 2-year-olds. How many in total you got? There was a lot we didn't see.
Yeah, there was a lot you didn't see. We got 31 2-year-olds. I think.
It changed.
30 or 31,
yes,
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the ones we do know. Let's start off here in the first set with Posterity. A Lucky Chucky, 9,000 out of Lexington.
Yeah, she's okay. She was kind of slow coming in the beginning, but she's come along really good and shows a lot of ability.
Okay, and you had her out there with Stage Presence, a muscle massive filly, 40,000 out of Lexington.
Yeah, she took OCDs out of her. She was a little bit behind, but
so you paid more money for the privilege to do that.
Yeah, sure, you know, but in her hind ankles, and but she's really come along now.
What range are you going in here in early March?
We've been around 25 with most of them, with about 22 of them.
Okay. I guess this is pronounced LOL Hanover, an explosive matter filly, 13,000 out of Harrisburg.
Yeah, she went through a growth spurt there about a month ago, and she's just starting to come back, but she's coming back good. Shows, you know, kind of temperamental, not hot or anything like that, but I really like her.
Great, and I see you've got a slew for Bob Key, a breeder again, and start off with, I guess you're bringing Fortuna Hanover, a muscle massive homebred.
Yeah, she's been really coming good, that filly. She's got extreme speed, and we're just trying to keep her head on straight and kind of let her follow along. But she's not real grabby, but you know, you could see that if you really stepped on the gas hard.
You've got a Conway Hall, 16,000 out of Morrisville sale, Linda's Choice.
Yeah, she's kind of a small filly out of Howard's sister there, and you know, confirmation, you know, maybe going to her tenants a little bit there, but the more and more, you know, started jogging her more, and she's getting stronger and stronger. She's pretty nice though, and does everything right.
Well, the one that caught my eye, what do I know though? Aqua Marina K, a Donato Hanover homebred for Bob Key. I mean, she just catches your eye in the trot.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big lean filly, and you know, got a really good gait and extreme speed. I mean, but really nice.
Your assistant Ronnie says the best, easy.
Yeah, she thinks so.
Okay. Well, you were out there at the same time with Dollar Billiards, a Conway Hall homebred.
Yeah, he's a, you know, kind of a heavy colt, but he popped a couple curbs there early, and but the last 6 weeks or so, he's really come around. He's okay.
And in that same set was a newcomer that's just a private purchase, El Turbo, a Cayenne Turbo. You know, you got to tell me, who the hell is Cayenne Turbo with?
He was an Angus Hall horse. I have really no idea. I have an older horse picture this that Mr. Buckner owns, and this colt is out of a half sister to her, and to him, and I went down to South Florida and bought him, and I kind of like him. I mean, he's got a real efficient gait, and I think he's okay. And you know, the hybrids, I mean, there's not a lot of them. I mean, next year there's going to be a ton of them, but Mr. Buckner lives in Ohio, and you know, he wants something over there.
Whatever. Right? Okay, and then we go to another set. Mr. Moose, a Donato Hanover homebred colt.
Yeah, he's out of a good mare we had, Winning Sister, and to look at him in the stall, you're going like, this thing can't trot, but he's okay. He can go.
Yeah. Modern Mercury, another Donato Hanover, 15,000 out of Lexington.
Yeah, I bought her sister last year. She was a Jailhouse Jessie, Indiana bred, and she made like 75,000 first full out of Muscles Yankee mare. And I had to give a little more for this one, but she seems to be the whole package, that one.
One that I wondered about when I saw her on the track, and then you will tell us what you think. Treasure Keys K, a homebred by Encore.
I didn't train any of them last year, and there's not that many. There's only like, I don't know, 4 or 5 out there, and I got 3 of them. Paul Reed has one, and they're not real big horses, but I mean, just scary. I mean, they can go with anything in our barn, all 3 of them. And I'm not a fan of Broadway Hall, but it was a Broadway Hall, and
so why do you bother going to sales looking at all these horses?
I know. Yes. You don't know.
And the last one is an interesting one. Ms. B. Vinnan, an Angus Hall homebred for Bob Key.
Yeah, she's a 3/4 sister to Win Missy B. And
credentials here.
Yeah, you know, and she's an Angus Hall, and you know, they tend to get a little hot or whatever, but this filly has been 2 fingers so far, so you know, she's been behind the gate and everything, so it hasn't drove her nuts yet.
No anger yet.
No anger yet.
Well, Charlie, good luck with the rest of the winter, and hope we'll see you in the spring with some shooters.
All right, thank you very much.
Harold Howe with Charlie Norris, 2-year-olds in training.